I'm Dana Denha, and you're watching FYI. For 9 years, Detroiters have been working together every spring to drive the devil out and all the misfortunes he's plagued on the city during the March to Nain Rouge. For hundreds of years, the Nain Rouge has caused quite a commotion with his presence and has shed the city of Detroit in a negative light.
This is the parade to march the devil out of Detroit.
What we're doing, we're trying to march the devil out of Detroit. So what basically means, if you're familiar at all with the myth of the Nain Rouge, it's this little demon creature, this little hobgoblin. It literally translates to red dwarf.
We're down here to drive that evil character, Nain Rouge, out of Detroit. He's been over here millions of times. The 67 riots, he started there. He burned down the city in 1789, and we are here to protect my people. These are my people, my people.
According to the legend, throughout the history of Detroit, the Nain Rouge has filled the streets with blood as he torments those that call the city home.
Whenever he shows up, like, bad things happen, and Detroit's had enough of that. We need to be viewed in a more positive light, and in order to do that, we need to get the devil out.
Stay tuned, and we'll be back shortly with more news and information. April brings spring showers, pastels, and Easter activities, and the city of Saline had all that wrapped into one as they gathered to commemorate the season. Jill Andrews has the details.
Kids put all of their eggs in one basket at the Saline Spring Celebration.
So today's our annual Springfest, and it entails an Easter egg hunt out in our woods, and then people can come in and do a lunch with the bunny, followed by our egg dive. But we also have our hippity hop trail going on where local businesses are out handing out goodie bags or little treats and then visiting with all the children and the families who are here.
The festival got extreme as kids took a dive to win some prizes.
We actually won an award through the Michigan Recreation and Parks Association for a unique program. The eggs don't actually sink, so there's technically not diving to go get the eggs. However, they float on top of the water and the children gather them. So they get to put their bathing suits on, go in the pool, gather the eggs, fill their bags with them, and then later on they get prizes and goodie bags for doing so. And then we invite them to stay and swim afterwards. The Easter Bunny, it wouldn't be Springfest without having the bunny here. So the bunny takes time out of, its busy day and comes and visits with all the children. Right now the bunny is doing some photos with the boys and girls who are here. And really it's all about families having opportunities to kind of make those memories with their children. And they do, they remember it for years and years to come.
Our four-legged friends love to get out of the house, smell the fresh air, and go for a brisk walk or run. Learn about dog licensing, leash laws, and more in this month's City Roundup in 60.
Hey guys, my name is Matt Morrow with the City Clerk's Office, and today we're going to talk about dog licensing, dog parks, and Ann Arbor's leash laws. So dog licensing is extremely important, not only because it's state law, but it's also regulated by local ordinances. So Ann Arbor provides 3 different options in 1, 2, and 3-year intervals based on the rabies vaccination expiration date. Moving on from there, if you want access to one of these wonderful parks, you're going to need a dog park pass. For Swift Run, it's going to cost $35. Olson and Broadway can come together at $15, and that leaves All City at $45. In regards to the leash law, when the animal is outside in an open area such as this, it needs to be on the leash. However, inside one of these gated areas, the animal is free to roam. And if you have any questions, please feel free to contact us at our phone number, 734-794-6140. Or for additional information, please go to www.a2gov.org.
With the competitiveness in today's job market, it can be hard for people of any age to feel secure and financially stable with their employment situation. But what if you are just starting out? How do you even get your foot in the door? Summer 18 is a program that has just that in mind for youth dipping their toes into the workforce. Joining me is Shamar Herron, Deputy Director with Michigan Works Southeast. So welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Can you explain what Michigan Works is and how they are an asset to the community? Because maybe some people don't know about what they are and how they can utilize Michigan Works.
Absolutely. So Michigan Works is your local workforce development agency here in Washtenaw County. What we're able to do is provide access to training capabilities for individuals who are looking to gain employment or upskill themselves so that they can achieve higher heights in their employment. So we have access to training dollars as well as programs that help build up soft skills like how to show up on time, communicate effectively, resume workshops, as well as just consultation and one-on-one conversations to make sure you understand what today's job market looks like.
So it doesn't really depend on what the field you're going into per se. It's more about like just those skills to be able to make you succeed in an interview.
So we want to give you the foundational skills for sure, but we also want you to understand today's labor market, which is changing every day. So where someone once may have wanted to go in and be a hairdresser, we may be able to show you opportunities that can help you financially even more than that, but still allow you to fulfill your passions. So we look at what you're trying to do and what skill sets you have, but also try and pair you with the opportunities that are available for you.
That's awesome. Also, the one thing you mentioned is helping people build a resume. Are resumes different now than they maybe were 10 years ago? Because I feel like with everyone being online all the time, I feel like the process has to be different than it was.
So two things. One, there are your traditional resumes that can go chronologically and just basically lay out what you've done over your work career. But now we have to start preparing people who apply online, as you asked. And so a lot of employers are requiring you to apply through their online system so that they can track things better. And then it becomes difficult to be able to extract that data from that website so that you have a solid resume. So what we suggest people do is create a resume, put it into a Word or some sort of formal document, and you upload it. Opposed to creating that resume online, you upload what you already have, and that way you retain your information and can go about adjusting the resume as you apply for different positions.
You have that like hard copy of
Absolutely,
it.
absolutely. And we also suggest people email themselves their resume as well so that you always have access to it. Suppose you put it on a thumb drive. You may forget your thumb drive, but
Or it could break.
It could break.
Yeah.
I don't know, a hard rainfall, what have you.
Yeah.
It could not be accessible, but you can always pull up your email where you have a copy of your resume.
Well, now we're kind of going to start talking about some of the younger kids that you're helping out.
Absolutely.
So Summer 18 is actually like 16 to 24-year-olds.
Absolutely, and so that's defined by the Department of Labor as youth. 16 to 24, and what we want to also be able to do is provide a variety of opportunities. So some of our young people, maybe the 16, 17, 18-year-olds, have never had a job before in their lives. So we have some first-time opportunities for them through this summer employment program. But then we have some of our 18, 19, 20, 22-year-olds who've had one or more positions, and now this is an opportunity for them to really hone in on their work persona and how they're going to move forward through their career. Either way, it's career exploration for both sets, and we want to make sure that they have the opportunity to learn about all of the fantastic employers across the county.
So this is a 10-week program.
Yes.
How does it work?
So application is online at www.domoresummer18.com. That's summer 18. And we want to make sure that we get a large number of youth that apply. We're going to have a family orientation where we explain what the program is. We also are recruiting our employers right now, and that is our biggest sort of back and forth, is because we need employers to understand how important it is to prepare our next generation of the workforce. So we are orienting our employers and recruiting them The young people will go through 4 weeks of soft skills. So the entire month of May, they will learn how to show up on time, communicate both written and orally, how to handle conflict, dress appropriately. We also talk about things like hygiene, which some people may not have been exposed to. So we try to cover the full continuum of what it means for employment. Then we have a really big, cool event. So I want you to think about speed dating, but it's speed interviewing.
Oh, that's sweet.
So we bring in all of the employers, we bring in all of the young people, and we ask the young people to start thinking about who you would like to work for. So we have a cool partnership with the University of Michigan where we're working with them. They're going to take half of our young people. The community will take half of the young people. So there's a diverse setting that these young people can work in. And they're interviewing 6 to 8 minutes at a time. Everyone's guaranteed up to 8 interviews. And at that point, the business will rank their top 5 young people. The young people will rank their top 5 businesses. We go back, make connections, and then we send them back to the business that they're connected with for a second interview. And at that point, on June 18th, if everything went smoothly, as we hope, the young person would start at their place of employment and work for 10 weeks.
Wow, that is such a great opportunity for kids, because I feel like that's something that I wish I could have had.
Yeah.
Because I didn't, even like graduating from college, I never had a class that taught me how to make a resume.
Yeah.
Like I had to figure all that stuff out on my own. This is not the first year you've done this, so what is the success rate for the program?
So our idea of success may look a little bit different than, let's say a hard and fast business or even government. We want exposure. So success for us is a young person making it through the soft skills sessions all of May. Success for us is the young person starting on June 18th and completing on August 24th, making it through all 10 weeks. And our last piece of success is that they learn something that they didn't know prior to entering that work field. I had a young man come up to me and he was so excited that he learned how to fax. See, that made my heart skip a beat, because that young man learned something that he's going to be able to take with him. And those transferable skills are what we really want to impart on our young people, is that you can learn something at each position that you're in and take with you from employment opportunity to employment opportunity. So that's what we see as success. You're going to learn how to show up on time and be a solid employee. You're going to get some skills, but you're also going to get paid. So there's a pay range of $10 an hour if you don't have your high school equivalency, high school diploma or equivalency, and then $12 an hour if you do have your high school diploma or equivalency, because we've noticed that we have college students applying and going through this program. So we wanted to bring some equity to education and show that education will actually help you financially throughout your life.
So in the end, this is actually something they could put on their resume to help build it up as well.
We actually help you put your skills that you've learned over the summer into a resume format. Both the University of Michigan students and our community students come out with a finished and polished resume that shows what they've learned over the last 6 to 8 weeks, or 10 to 14 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of kids understand how hard it is to actually get your foot in the door when you've never had a job before.
Absolutely.
And it sounds like these days, I know my first job I was like 14, but it doesn't seem like that's the norm anymore. Like people aren't, it's 16, 17, 18.
Absolutely, and times have changed. And my first job, I was 12 years old. I was 6'5",
and everyone thought you were 30, probably.
Exactly. And so a gentleman said, "Hey, I own a car wash, and I'll give you $1 a car because you don't need a ladder to get on top of the vans." So things have changed. There's child labor laws now.
Yeah.
But we are trying to expose our young people and help them understand there is a plethora of opportunity out here. Now, on the flip side, we want to make sure our businesses understand we have a full pipeline of young people who are preparing to enter the workforce, and they need that exposure. So we see our employers putting out job orders saying we need a person with all of these skills, and we want to pay them this amount of money. So what you need to be able to do as an employer is help us help you by bringing this young person on so they understand industry standards. what this sector and what this position calls for, so that they can start to get some skin in the game and go back and tell their friends in the community how cool it is to go and learn about mechatronics, or they work in a lab, or they work for a tile company that creates these really cool tiles that go into people's homes, or working at any one of the departments at the University of Michigan. So they're learning about all of the opportunity that is out here, because sometimes our young people get misled around what opportunity really looks like for employment. No way you could have told me I was going to be a workforce development professional when I was 16 years old. I thought I was going to the NBA. That's not always the case. And whether it's injury or it just doesn't work out for you, you have to have a backup. So we also talk to them about the importance of education and how that leads to your continued opportunity and access to it.
All right, well, thank you so much for being on the show, Shamar.
Thank you.
For more on this and other programs, visit a2gov.org/watchctn. Thanks for watching, and tune in next time to FYI.